Okay, a project I've been working on for quite some time. This is a one-piece floor to the top of the hangman's tree table, or I suppose you'd call it a table lamp. Okay, I started with the new home table legs. Then I made and fitted to the table the live edge oak plank. Off of eBay used parts to complete the engine. Next, I bought a motor stand and hung the exhaust pipes, that sort of thing. Next, I built the hangman's tree and hung the lamp. This is the completed project sitting in my front room. I started off with a set of sewing machine legs, like the Singer sewing machine legs. Looked nice, ornate, wrought iron, curly cues, pretty cool. Then a friend of mine turned me on to an old Evo engine. This is a early Evo 80 cubic inch solid mount engine, so more than likely it's a soft tail engine. Compatible with the 4 speeds, the Baker 5 speed, or the slightly later soft tail 5 speeds. It'll fit rigid frames. Anyway, I brainstormed the idea of making a table lamp out of it. So first I procured the sewing machine legs, which are real sturdy. They'll hold a great deal of weight being wrought iron. Then the tabletop is live edge oak. I gave it 12 coats of urethane to give it some depth to the finish. Behind it is a hangman's tree that holds the lamp. And it's a simple steel. Hanging from it, also procured from a dear friend, is the Applebee's stained glass wrought iron lamp. And this is a project that took about 2 years. The engine had to be completely repainted, and some parts were missing that I had to buy off eBay. The engine could be runnable easily. I've been a Harley technician for 35 years. The cylinders are relatively clean, not much of a ridge. The piston fits good. If I were to make it a runner, I'd buy a gasket kit, a new set of rings, hone it, and then the Woodruff key that rotates the cam needs a new one of those. I don't have a set of lifters for it, but I do have a set of lifters for a 96 cube Evo. I'll have to check the part number on the old Evo engine and the part number on the 96 cube, see if they're the same lifters. But all in all, it turned out quite nice. I will at some point probably make the engine a runner, but I'm not going to do it until I have an intake manifold on it. Don't want dust getting in there after I do a rebuild. Anyway, that's my latest project. I looked on Google and I haven't seen anything comparable to it. So this is probably the only one in the world. Pardon the camera shaking. I've developed Parkinson's disease, so I'm not really shooting many YouTube videos anymore, but it is just a wonderful centerpiece for the room. Another dear friend, Jesse, turned me on to these theater chairs, and they make it a really cozy space. I have the German shrunk display from the old antique store, and I've got a curio full of risque barware and just odd items from the old antique store. Even have a flying pig. Let's see if I can turn him on. There it is, on-off button. There we go. How often do you see a flying pig? Well, we got one, and it works. And it doesn't want to stop working. Anyway, back to where I was. Being a pilot, I have all of the suspect airplanes in my just stupid display, and motorcycles. That's interesting. That's a tow bar for a Springer-equipped Harley 45 service car, so you can tow it behind your car. But just oddball items showcasing my silly-ass life. Made a really nice room. Very cozy spot. I can get in here and make a mixed drink and sit by the fire. My dad's U.S. Army uniform. He was one of the company commanders during the Watts riots. Field grade major. Anyway, that's a quick tour of my latest project. I'll include some regular photos so you can see the progression. Well, you folks have a good evening, and I'll have to pick on you next time. Oh, having nothing better to do, I equipped it with some LED lights. Just for silliness. And there's the goddamn Parkinsons. Anyway, I am accepting tips, or the engine is, and that's a $1 million bill, so don't be stingy. Anyway, that's all the silliness we can take for the evening. Good night, guys.